Jonathan Davenport dropped the steering wheel and claimed his first victory in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series for the 2024 season down there at East Bay. But it was not without some drama and some great racing. Davenport actually made a huge mistake early on in the race, almost cost him dearly, allowed Tyler Erb to get around him, and Erb would lead for the next 10 laps. Davenport would then throw it in with a huge slider, make contact with Tyler Erb. That contact seemingly ended Tyler Erb's night. He had some kind of, I don't know if he cut the tire or what exactly happened, but he would basically have to pull it into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit the next lap. And Davenport would go on to fend off Hudson O'Neal and claim that checkered flag. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. So let's get into this here. The action kind of really heated up really early on. 50-lap feature. We're 43 laps to go here. Mark Whitener kind of started second. I think he started second. He might have started on the pole. No, he started on the front row, that's for sure. He actually had to exit really early, clearly had some kind of mechanical issue. And then almost like the next lap later, Garrett Smith's car went up in fire. You can take a look here. Car is up in flames. The safety crew would get there. Garrett Smith would get out of the car, and they would put that out. Unfortunately, everything was okay there, but some exciting moments there for Garrett Smith with his car catching on fire. And then we didn't even see this happen live. We had to watch it on the replay because they were watching the camera work was on some of the action in the back, and there was good action in the back. So I don't fault them for that. But Davenport just kind of got in really hot here in turns 1 and 2. Got up in the cushion and almost lost it, but was able to save it. But that gave Tyler Erb the opportunity to slip underneath him and take the lead. Let's take a look here. You can see it right there. Catches the cushion, almost goes right into the wall, and Tyler Erb drives right around him. They would indeed stay green. There would be, I think, a caution around, there would be 2 cautions back-to-back around lap 35. I know Ross Robinson was one of them. I can't remember the first one off the top of my head right now. But we would get some great racing with Ashton Winger, Dalton Wilson, and Garrett Albertson. They're racing for the 5th position right here. It was excellent here. They did this for 4 or 5 laps, going 3 wide with each other. And I think Jimmy Owens would get in on it too, because he would fade a little bit back there, because you can see on the ticker that he wasn't there. But let's take a look at some of this racing right here. It was awesome. This was great. You love to see this. This is why Dirt Super Late Models are the best form of motorsports out there right now. I mean, just absolutely fantastic racing. Just putting on a show. I mean, look at these guys. There's 8 cars within half a second of each other. And they're going 3 wide. They're doubling up. It's just really, really good racing. We get that through much of the middle portion of the race. But here's where the real drama is. You can see Davenport's already in the process of kind of pulling off his slider. We're a little over halfway here, 22 laps to go. This is the race for the lead here. Let's take a look. And you see Davenport pulls the slider. Turbo runs it really up the top. Gets a good run. He kind of comes down and hits Davenport there. So I don't think it was actually Davenport's fault. I think Turbo kind of did it. And then there's maybe some contact there with him and O'Neal. And then clearly something happens. I think maybe his left front goes flat. Hard to really tell. He's still running it there. Still looks up. But he's getting passed by Ashton Winger. Looks like Garrett Albertson is working on him there too. And then clearly he would have an issue here. And right there, looks like his right front's actually going flat. So not sure what exactly happened there, but his night would go south after that contact with Davenport. So it looks like, looking at the replay there, definitely looks like Turbo came down on Davenport and made that contact, because looks like Davenport's car was already going straight down the front stretch, and Turbo came really high and came down on him. But that would end his night. And then a couple laps later, I guess it was 7 or 6 laps later, Hudson O'Neal would really try and turn up the wick and pressure Davenport for the lead. Let's take a look here. You can see him really trying to work in turns 3 and 4. Again, good racing happening throughout the field there. There you go. It looks like Hudson's got a good run. Davenport gets him on the outside. They're running side to side there, coming up on the back of the field. And they would do this for a little bit, and then Davenport would there pull away. and Huddy wouldn't really have anything for him, try to run him down on the top side. Garrett Albertson would try and run that top side too, but if you just didn't hit it right, you could get caught up in that cushion. We saw Ashton Winger do that. Ricky Thornton Jr. got caught up in that cushion. That would cost them a couple spots. But really, really great racing. These guys were pushing it to their limit. They were really trying to work the racetrack. The racetrack was excellent, as we saw early, right in that middle portion of the race. There were all three grooves were doing really good. You had the low side, you had the high side, you had the middle. This was a fantastic, fantastic race. I'm loving what I'm seeing at East Bay. East Bay has put on, I think, the best races. I still don't think this one was better than Wednesday night. I think with the Wednesday night race with Mike Marlar just absolutely plowing through the field, charging to second was probably still entertaining. I mean, we did have huge runs by Ricky Thornton Jr. I think he started back in 23rd, had to take a provisional. Brandon Shepard started even further back. I think he was like in 28th, and he had to take a provisional too. And I think they finished, where did we say they finished at here? We had Brandon Shepard finishing in 7th, Ricky Thornton Jr. in 6th. So huge, huge runs. I think Ashton Winger started towards the rear as well, or maybe like 19th or 20th. So you had a lot of guys coming through the field doing work. So for the folks that were at the track, they probably even got a better show because you got to see Ricky Thornton Jr., Brandon Shepard, Ashton Winger really working through the field, something that we don't get to see watching on Flow Racing. But let me know what you guys made of this race. Let me know in the comments below.